everybody, KC0VI Tom here. It's kind of a halfway decent day here in North Iowa. We've got one little snow pile over there in the neighborhood, and that's about it. With the gas pricing going nuts with diesel and gas, there's a few things we want to talk about today, just to help you get that little bit of extra oof out of that gallon of gas. Or if you got an electric vehicle like I got, these two guys here are electric. Black one is a hybrid like extended range. The Bolt is full electric, and then we got the Bronco, which is still gas. And this kind of applies to all three of them. Get that most mileage out of your batteries or your gallon of gas. Big thing is tire pressure. Now if you go to your car, we'll get here in the Bronco. Usually it's located in the driver's door jamb. There is a tag that'll tell you your tires, the size, the amount of pressure. The Bronco is recommended for 33 PSI. That's recommendation. Now some people will tell you can go a little more, a little less. I was always told that you can go a little more. What's going to happen, which we want the tire flat against the road surface. If you have too much air pressure, it gets cupped or domed up. Now you're running on less of the tire in a wear funny. If you don't have enough, now that instead of being a dome shape, it's actually like a valley, and now you're running on the sidewalls of the tire, and that's not good for them. If you run 33 pounds in the Bronco, I run actually 35 to 36. I get a little more extra fuel mileage, I get a better footprint on the road, and it's a little harder to ride. If you had too much air pressure, you're gonna get a harder ride, but you're gonna get better gas mileage. You really overinflate them, you get fantastic gas mileage, but you're gonna rip your tires up. And the other is true, if you drop down in pressure, now the tire is softer, it's gonna be able to bounce more, it's gonna be a smoother ride, but now that tire is flexing, it's gonna heat and actually disintegrate, you'll get less wear out of that tire. So I always try to stay within, say, 5 pounds of that recommendation. 33, you go up to 38, you go down to 28, roughly, yeah. And be fine for the, closer you can. Since I don't really drive these that much, and the Bronco's usually my weekend toy, so I usually run that about 38. Now the Volt and the Bolt here, there's really no gas in the Bolt, and the Volt is a little bit of gas. But again, tire pressure is important for these vehicles. You get less rolling resistance, you get better mileage off your battery. The other thing on a gas engine car, air filter. Put your hand over your mouth and now you run around the yard. People think you're crazy, but you can't do it because you can't breathe. A gas engine is the same way. You need to have a clean air filter for that. The rule of thumb around here was I would always pull them when I change oil, blow them out with compressed air, and I had a whiteboard in the garage here that I wrote down when I changed them. But I'd always, when I change oil, is blow that out, always give the engine better, best it can. When was the last time you got your car tuned up? That's the other thing. If you drive a lot in a year, you want to get tuned up more often. If you drive less, you don't need to have it tuned up every year. But I mean, I'm talking about spark plugs, the wires, the wire packs. Most of them will have some type of maintenance schedule. Take a look in your owner's manual as the moths come flying out. But again, follow that to get the best mileage you can out of your car. Another thing you can do, around here out of the wind, Mr. Duke's a little perturbed at me. He's not outside. The other thing you can do, your gas. What type of gas are you buying? Here in Iowa, we have everything from E85 up to 94, 93 premium. E85 right now, if I remember when I drove by the station, it was running around $2 and some odd cents. Premium was almost $4, like $3.99, $3.98. I don't run that much gas through the lawnmowers, so that gas needs to be more stable, last longer. So I buy premium, and I'll buy 10 gallons of premium, and that'll last me all summer long or all winter long. This year, I only had to use 5 gallons of premium for the winter snow removal. We only had, I think I was out 2 or 3 times with the snowblower. What I have left over in the springtime, I'll take and dump that into either Maryland or Neenah and burn off there. It's still fairly good gas, but sitting in the gas can in the garage, it can collect a lot of moisture. And I tell you, these little 1-2 cylinder engine on your lawnmower, they don't like moisture too much. They have a hard enough time running with all the emission standards. You add a little moisture to that gas, it doesn't burn too good. So again, if you're traveling a lot, it may be worth trying a little extra, don't buy the cheap E85 and don't blend it. I was working with a guy at the college, and he was actually on a Suburban. He'd fill it full of regular gas, super unleaded. And when he got down to a half, he'd top it off with E85, and he was doing it alternately until one time he forgot which way the full and the half point was, and he actually got a lot more E85 in there, and it got cold, and the thing wouldn't start too good. So, but on that, tire pressure, make sure you have good tire pressure. Take a look at your tires. When's the last time you had the tires rotated? The tires will wear, with a pattern, and if you rotate them, that pattern will be distributed amongst the different points in the car, and the tire will last longer. Tire pressure, you want to keep that rolling resistance down as much as you can. Tune-ups, it's important to tune up your engine once in a while. Make sure you got good points. And the air filters. The most important thing, drive like an old person. Now, when I say that, don't drive like my grandmas did, my dad's mom and Joyce's grandma. They were horrible. I mean, you talk about Little Old Lady from Pasadena, that song was made for those two ladies. But just when you take off from a stop sign or from a dead stop, slowly, add a little bit of gas, slowly get up to speed. If you know you're going to stop, let up on the accelerator and start slowing down a couple blocks before that. Because that energy it took to get that car up to speed, now you got to slam the brakes on. That energy is being converted to heat on your brakes and just dissipated. You're wasting it. You just wasted that little bit of gas that took you to get up to that speed. So again, when you're driving on the road, plan out what you're going to do. I got a turn up here, so I'm going to start slowing down. Who cares about the dummy behind you in his big 4x4 pickup truck, burning a gallon of diesel fuel for every block and a half he's going? We're talking about yourself. And you don't have to go to the speed limit. The speed limit is the recommended maximum amount of speed you can do on that roadway. You don't have to do that. I found out in the two electric cars, instead of driving 55, if I drove 55 in the car, the volt I'd get about 38 to 40 miles off that battery. But if I drove 53, I got 45. Just that little bit of less got me that little extra mileage. And I was playing around one time. I had to run into Nyack to do a Sunday morning changeover. So I left plenty early, set the cruise control for 35 miles an hour. It's 58 miles round trip from where we're standing here to the campus and back. Normally, like I said, I would get 40 miles off the battery. I was able to complete the whole trip from here to Nyack, do the changeover, get back in the car, and come back here. But I was doing 35 miles an hour. I did not drive on the main roadways. I took the back roads in, so it was a little bit longer. But speed does affect your mileage. Slower you go, the better mileage you can get. Then you got a trade-off, okay? Is it worth having somebody right on my bumper trying to push me off the road going too slow? So again, speed, the way you behave as you're driving, try to avoid hard acceleration. You don't have to do 90 miles an hour, and and you'll get by. Again, my electric cars are not for sale. In the last couple of weeks, I've had a lot of people contact me wanting to buy them. Nina over there, the Volt, I had one guy offer me just way too much money because he was driving a big pickup truck and it was costing him so much. He figured what he would save just in 6 months of driving the Volt, that was in gas or diesel, that it would pay for itself. But on that, settle down. We'll get through this. This is just as our president says, this is just a temporary solution. No, it's not. It's going to be a real long, nasty affair. And the best thing to do is just watch yourself, drive nice, and drive like an old person like I am, and maintain the maintenance on your cars. You'll get through it. 7-3, everybody. Take care.
Be sure to tell your friends, neighbors, other hams. Subscribe, hit that bell to get notification when new videos come up. Add comments below. 7-3, everybody.
Here is recommended straight to the Bronco.